What is up, everybody? Welcome to another brand new video. This is Searching for Hits with Eric, and I am Eric. And today is Thursday. We're going to do a Throwback Thursday and open up a box of 94 Series 2. Picked this up relatively cheap. Guy wanted 40, I got it for 30 while I was on vacation, so saved it for Throwback Thursday. This is not the Jeter second year. Best card in here is the Griffey Jr., which in a PSA 10 goes for $50, give or take, a little bit more. What I'm really looking for are the gold, which you get at least one gold card per pack. And the Griffey Gold is pretty good. That's worth well over 100 in a PSA 10. Also looking for Topps Finest randomly inserted promo or preview cards. Not sure what the odds of getting them. I could not find the odds online anywhere. I'm also a little concerned. The bottom of the box has a bit of a stain, even though it is cellophane wrapped. So we'll see what the packs look like. But let's go rip into this. Just as a reminder, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'm trying to grow the channel. Also, make sure that you do like the video, and let me know what you think of this this box. Again, I paid $30 for it, and hopefully we can pull out some good stuff. We're looking for Hall of Famers, top gold cards, and the Griffey. Another interesting card in here is the number 715, which commemorates Hank Aaron's 715th home run. And there we go. Let's take a look at the box. And the packs do look okay. So my concern is gone. Get these packs out of the box. Take a look at what they look like from this year. All right, there's the packs. And here we go, you do get the odds. So odds of receiving a Topps Black Gold card is 1 in 72 packs. A winner, which hopefully we don't get because redemptions will be no good, are 1 in 180 packs. Let's see here. 1 in 36 is a Topps Finest card, which is pretty cool. Hopefully we'll find, I'd like to find 2 or 3 of those if we're lucky. So let's tear on in and see what we could find. Hopefully the cards aren't sticking together or anything. Hope everyone is having a great week so far. As we look at pack number 1. So pack number 1, Scott Bullet from the Pirates. That's what the card looks like. On the back, they give full stats, minor leagues for the younger players. Pretty cool design. I always like 94. I like 93 as well. We have an upside down card, which is a draft pick of David Cooper. Do not remember him. Eric Davis towards the latter part of his career with the Tigers. There's a Jim Edmonds. Greg Harris. Here's our first gold card. It's a Chris Jones, excuse me. Gold cards from the commons are not really worth much at all. The parallels for some of the Hall of Famers are, however. Tom Creamer. Topps did not do a great job at keeping these cards in the same direction. And we got some paper loss right there. That's never a good sign. Willie Green, Xavier Hernandez, Mike Greenwell, and a good old checklist when they were still including checklists in the set. So pack number 1, not too much to get excited about. Got quite a ways to go though, so I'm sure we will find something good. I'd love to find a couple of Griffeys. Randy Myers, former Mets closer. Upside down card here of, it's a coming attractions card of Kevin Foster and Gene Shaw. The rookie class in Series 2 is not the strongest. Delgado is probably the best rookie card that's in here. Joe Baver, Hope, Joey Cora. There's a gold card of Bill Kruger, Darren Jackson, Darryl Kyle. We got two more cards that are sticking together. There's paper loss on Reggie Sanders and Ryan Smithberg. And there's Pat Watkins draft pick card. Okay, pack number 3. All right, we got Jim Eisenreich. There's our upside down Jeff D'Amico. Probably the strongest draft pick in this set, in the Series 2, actually, if my memory serves me correctly, which doesn't say a lot. Bobby Ayala. There's Todd Pratt. Topps Gold, Todd Pratt. Got a Corey Snyder. Pedro Martinez. Oh, we got a second gold card in here. Corey Snyder. They'll do that. They'll randomly insert additional golds. Andre Dawson, the Hawk. Very nice. These are all different directions. Jack Armstrong. There's Devon White and Tim Salmon gold cup card. One of the better rookies in Series 2. Okay, next pack up. This video is going to be a little bit longer than others on the channel. Not the longest, but a little longer, since we are opening a whole box. There's the nice card. There's coming attractions of Chipper Jones and Ryan Klesko. I forgot this card was in here. This is a top 5 card in the Series 2 set. Not worth a whole lot. It's not Chipper Jones's true rookie card. It's his second year, or third year actually by now, but still a nice card. I'd love to find that in a gold parallel. Rob Ducey, Paul Kilgus, Herbeck. There's a Brian Barnes gold and a Brian Barnes regular. Albert Bell, who had a bunch of nice power years. Ken Caminiti sticking to Hall of Famer Tom Glavine there. Tom Glavine, unfortunately, a little bit of paper loss, along with Caminiti, Leo Gomez. And there is a prospects card of DJ Boston, Sean Wooten, Greg Perkle, and Roberto Pedagine. Not the biggest names. I'm not sure if any of the 4 made it to the majors. In fact, I don't remember any of them. Maybe Boston made it up. Okay, let's get into the next pack, see what we got. Try and unstick these a little bit, give it a little wiggle. Bob Walk. There's a coming attractions of Rondell White. Not bad. He had a few decent years. Joe Orsulak, Wayne Kirby. Another sticky card. It's going to be David Hulse. Don't remember him. Steve Buechele, gold card. There's a Dave Nilsson. Troy Neal. Kurt Reeder. Tim Worrell. I don't know why they're putting them back to back. And there is the anniversary card of Hank Aaron. Nice insert into the set honoring Hank Aaron. 20 years previous of this set release, becoming the home run king. at least until Barry Bonds came along. These packs are not opening very cleanly either, making it a little difficult to keep the video moving. I apologize for that. All right, give it a little shake and a wiggle. All right, let's see what we got here. There's a draft pick of Dan Eller, Eduardo Perez, Willie McGee, Kevin Apier. There's a gold of Mike Cook. Haven't found a gold of anybody big yet. There's Greg Maddux, Hall of Famer Greg Maddux, Paul Quantrill, Tim Bogar, Todd Van Poppel, and Domingo Cedeno and Paul Splarjack. Okay, next pack up. Still looking for it. First Topps Finest promo card. I'd love to find at least one of those. Like to find more, but we'll see. Tim Costa, Casey Witten, Sloan Smith draft pick. There's an Alex Fernandez gold card. He had a handful of good years. There's a Bo Jackson gold card. That's nice. We'll take that. Probably worth a buck or two. Bo Jackson. Everybody loved Bo Jackson back in the day. Bo knows. So that's pretty cool. I like that card a lot. Jeff Conine gold cup card. Another guy who had some really good years. Pendleton. David Segui, who is sticking to Tony Tarasco. Some paper loss there. Tim Nehring and the coming attractions of Denny Hocking and Oscar Munoz. And our final, we have 2 packs left of the first stack. Looks like this will end up being like a good 45-minute video. Unless I decide to cut it halfway through and do a part 2. We'll see how I feel after the first 2 stacks. Jay Buhner, Carl Everett, and Dave Weathers. Ryan Weathers, Dave's son, is now up in the majors. Steve Wilson. There's a John Ratliff draft pick card. John Valentin. There's a coming attractions in gold of Johnny Ruffin and Jerry Spradlin. I don't remember either of them, but it's cool. Gold coming attractions card. Maldonado, Henke, Ron Karkovice, and Dykstra. Good old nails. Dwight Smith, and a Cal Ripken Jr. Measures of Greatness. Pretty cool. Cal Ripken Jr. Hall of Famer. Final pack of the first stack. There we go. Got a nice rip out of that pack. Maybe that'll bring us some luck. Dean Palmer on top. We have a upside down Jamie Wright draft pick and a Matt Williams. Milt Thompson, Steve Reed. There's a gold of Rafael Navoa. Don't remember Rafael Navoa. And I just realized the hits are actually off screen. Sorry about that. Put that there, and then we got a stack of gold cards working as well as a stack of rookies. Let's see here. Dave Telgetter, Pete Smith, Carl Willis sticking to Pete Smith there. David Cohen looking strange in the Royals uni. Definitely remembered for his days with the Mets, and then subsequently with the Yankees later on to end his career, where he was lights out through a no-hitter. So David Cone, we'll put that in my good pile. And there is the top prospects card of Carlos Delgado. Also on the card is Jason Kendall, who had a very nice career. Delgado, this is his second year card, I believe, but one of the better cards in this particular series of 94. Still looking and hoping to find at least one of those Griffies, as well as one of those finest cards. Let's see what's in this pack. Looks like we got our second Hank Aaron 715 insert card. Not really worth much, but pretty cool. Mike Morgan, we have a Jay Powell draft pick, and a Tino Martinez. Archie Cianfrocco, there's Sid Bream. Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly in a gold version. This is one of the other top cards in this set. Centering is pretty good left to right. Top to bottom is probably a 70-30. Not gradable because of that, I don't think, but it is a gold variation. It's worth a couple of bucks. I'm going to put this aside for my cousin Joe. He's probably watching this cheering right now. Eddie Guardano, Jimmy Leyritz, Robbie Alomar, sticking along with Phil Leftwich. There's the Robbie Alomar. Hate it when that happens. You end up with this paper loss. So if it was a Griffey or something, I would not be very happy right now. And it seems to happen every other pack or so, where there's those two cards that are sticking to each other. All right, next up, let's put Donnie Baseball on screen so that my cousin Joe can admire it. There we go. We'll get that right there. Just a reminder again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Trying to grow the channel, get it up towards that 100 mark. Strawberry with the Dodgers, though. Danny Bautista and Sean Bergman coming attractions card. There's a Hall of Famer, Dennis Eckersley. Joe Gray. There's Carlos Baerga, right before he went to the Mets. We have a Measures of Greatness Ryan Sandberg Gold. That's pretty cool. Gold variation of Ryan Sandberg Measures of Greatness card. I didn't know that they did the gold variations of the inserts. Well, it's not an insert. It's actually a numbered card in the set. There's, I believe, 30 or 40 of them in the set. But very cool to find that. That's a nice card right there. Doug Strange. And here we go with the two cards that are stuck together. We got a David Cohn and a John Wetland. There's the Big Cat, Andres Galarraga, Kevin Foster, and Gene Shaw. Finish off that pack. If you're interested with the with this series, it gives a little bit different look at the players. It's not the traditional stat line, but you know, it's pretty cool. Gives a comparison to Hornsby, actually. So that's pretty cool. And then on the Ripken card, I would imagine it gives you a comparison. Oh, it's a Louis Aparicio comparison. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, onward to the next pack. Hoping to find one of those finest promos, or perhaps a black gold. Or number 500, Mr. Ken Griffey Jr. We got Jeremy Hernandez. Let's see, Wade Boggs, Hall of Famer Wade Boggs in his Yankees uni. I'm gonna put that over here with Donnie Baseball. Tony Fernandez, Joel Johnston. We got Steve Fry. We got a Joel Johnston in a gold variation. Not sticking to anything. No, thought it was. Zane Smith, Brett Boone. Here's the two cards that are always seemingly stuck together. Wakefield and Steinbach, Steve Finley, and a David Cooper draft pick card. About halfway through stack number 2. See what's in here. Configuration of these packs, it's 12 cards per pack in this box. Scott Lewis, or Leus, I believe you pronounced it. There's Raul Mondesi, coming attractions card. Decent player, had some good years. Mike Ignasiak. I do not remember him at all. Jerry Goff, or Orestes Estrada. We have a Mickey Tettleton, gold. Rick Renteria, Tim Spear, Juan Gonzalez, great power hitter. Got that paper loss though from being stuck, which stinks. Mike Perez, Jeff Montgomery, and a Wade Boggs. Measures of greatness, comparing him to a Brooks Robinson. Nice comparison right there. Wade Boggs, perhaps the best pure hitter at the third base position. Next pack up. Bill Pecota. Okay, we got a Ryan McGuire draft pick card. Scott Service. Tino Martinez. I didn't notice that before. Right in front of the Bob Feller retired number. That's a pretty cool picture. I like that. Put that aside for my cousin as well. I know he liked Tino Martinez. Got a gold card of Kenny Rogers. An example of someone my cousin does not like. And oh goodness gracious, we have a redemption. Ay, ay, ay. A redemption. Winner, chicken dinner. I won Series A. So if this was 25 years ago, I could have filled this out and I would have ended up with these 11 black gold cards. Randy Johnson, Griffey Jr. Oh, that would have been great. Look at that. Look at that Griffey Jr. But all I have is a redemption. So they do randomly insert the black gold cards in here as well. So maybe we'll find one. I just glossed over a Mike Messina third year card. That's pretty cool as well. We'll put that in the pile for my cousin Joe of card flippers. Chuck McElroy, Real Cormier. There's Ramon Martinez, Pedro Martinez's brother. Mike Blowers. And we have Brian Taylor and Russ Davis coming attractions. So quite a bummer with that winner card. Yeah, would have rather have had one of the black gold cards than that winner card, unfortunately, but would have been excited, like I said, if I was back in 1994 or even 95. When did they give you until? They gave you until January 31st of 1995, so expired by over 25 years. All right, we got Harold Baines. We have another Ryan Sandberg. This is the regular to go along with the gold variation. Bill Gullickson. Let's see, Louis Alicia. There's a Randy Myers gold variation. Willie Wilson, Phil Clark. There's our two stuck together cards, Ellis Burks and Bruce Ruffin, Chip Hale, and a checklist. Still a little bummed out about not finding a black gold, but finding a redemption in that pack. Alright, next pack up as we're getting down towards the bottom of stack number 2. Randy Valardi. We'll stick that in the Yankee stack over here. There's a Kevin King and Eric Plantenberg. Don't remember either of them. Joe Gray again. Chuck Carr, Bob Scanlon. There's a Mets coming attractions in gold. That's pretty cool. Is that Bill Pulsifer? Yeah. Bill Pulsifer and Brooke Fordyce. Bill Pulsifer, one of the young arms, going along with Jason Isringhausen and Paul Wilson. They all came up together and were supposed to be the next big thing. Isringhausen went on to have the best career of the group. But cool card. I like that card a lot. Let's see here. We got another Don Mattingly. This one is not the gold variation. First we have Joe Oliver and Steve Bedrosian sticking together. But there is the Donnie Baseball, non-gold. Already pulled the gold version. Chuck Knobloch and Turk Wendell and Steve Traxel coming attraction. Sorry, a little off center there. Steve Traxel had a couple of good years when he went over to the Mets. Didn't mind him. He had some decent years. Could argue he was one of their better pitchers for a year or two there. All right, looks like we have 2 packs left in this second stack. I'm on the fence as to whether I save the other half of the box for later or if I keep going. Haven't found a Griffey or a Finest card yet, and I'd really love to find at least one. Ray Lankford, liked him a lot when he was playing. There is a Wayne Gomez draft pick and a Joel Johnston. There's a Bo Jackson to go along with the gold Bo Jackson. We have a Tom Pagnazzi. There's Dwight Smith diving head first into third, it looks like. Gold card, so we'll put that in our gold pile. Charlie O'Brien, Willie Blair, Marquise Grissom, flipped every which way. Lloyd McClendon, Blowers, Grissom, and a draft pick of Greg Cagle. Next pack up. Okay, let's see what we can find. I love looking through these cards from the era that I was actually originally collecting from, or collecting in. This was towards the tail end for me, but pretty cool to see these cards. Kurt Abbott and Miguel Jimenez. There's Jerry Goff. John Cummings. There's a Mark Portugal gold. There's a Juan Gonzalez. Are you kidding? Is this gonna happen? No paper. Hey, it's a Juan Gonzalez gold card. That's pretty nice. Juan Gonzalez, tremendous power hitter in the 90s. That's a cool card right there. I like that a lot. Geronimo Pena. We have a Jerry DiPoto and Julian Tavares coming attractions. Chip Hale again. Van Slyke. Tommy Green, who threw a no-hitter. I think in 95 maybe. Could have been 93, I don't remember. And Bobby Bonilla in his Mets uni still celebrates Bobby Bonilla Day to this day. Let's keep going with a few more packs. I really do want to find a Griffey. I'd love to find at least one Finest promo. Okay, we got Rich Roland. There's another prospects card of Carlos Delgado, which is, again, probably the best prospects card in this series, Series 2. So that's pretty cool to get 2 of those. I'd love to find that in a gold. Jamie Wright, who did make it to the majors, that's his draft pick card. Dave Staten, Mo Vaughn. That's an early on Mo Vaughn, second year card of Mo. Robbie Thompson. Got a gold of John Cummings. Greg Jeffries. Bodenfield. Doug Strange again. Donovan Osborne and Ramon Martinez once again. Let's see what the next pack has in store for us. Darren Fletcher leading off this pack. Tony Funderich, draft pick card. Do not remember him either. Mark Lewis, Alvaro Espinosa, played a long time. Danny Tartable in his Yankees uni. We got a Jaime Navarro. He had some good years, I believe. Not on this card particularly, but maybe afterwards. Greg Gore. There's Luis Gonzalez before he was the World Series hero for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Brett Gates and Steve Howe. Tim Wakefield, knuckleballer, pretty early on in his career, and Kevin Ory, who I believe also had a cup of coffee up in the majors. All right, come on, where's number 500? Card number 500 is the Griffey Jr. Want to find at least one, and if it's gold, that would be even better. Packs continue to give me a little bit of an issue. All right, Pedro Stasio leading things off. Pedro Stasio, this is early in his career. He had some good years. There's another draft pick of Kevin Ory. Ron Darling, Mets announcer now, longtime Mets pitcher. Hippolyto Pichardo. There's a Rafael Palmeiro gold card. Palmeiro, one of those sad stories, had a great career, but will never make the Hall of Fame because of his PED usage. So, what are you gonna do? But he did have some really nice years. And we got a second gold card. This one's Jay Howell, Jose Rijo, Sid Fernandez, loved El Cid, Dave Fleming, sticking to Mike Williams here, Mike Perez, and a draft pick of Tony Funderich again. So, keep going with some more packs. Getting down towards the middle of stack number 3. Not too bad so far. Found a few really nice cards as this corner almost got stuck. All right, Mike McFarland on top. We got Cal Ripken once again with the Measures of Greatness card. Bip Roberts, Tony Lavolo, Stan Javier. There's an Andy Ashby gold card. Chris Sabo and Chris Gwynn, brother of Tony Gwynn. There's Brett Boone once again, as well as Eric Plunk, Ellis Burks, and Carl Everett, Dave Weathers once again. So I'm starting to get some repeats. Would love to get a first Griffey, but that's the way these packs go sometimes. You end up with repeats of a bunch. But let's see what we got. There's Keith Miller, super utility guy for the Mets for a long time, and then went over to the Royals. Denny Hocking and Oscar Munoz. Both of them, I believe, were up in the majors for a little while. Bill Kruger, Pete Shurik, pitched for a few years with the Mets. There's a Roger Clemens, right before he went over to the New York to the Astros and then the Yankees. Bob Natal. I do not remember Bob Natal. There's a Henry Rodriguez, John Waston, Tim Spear, and Brian Jordan. Two-way player Brian Jordan, played football and baseball. Joe Oliver and Casey Witten round out that pack. Still have plenty of packs to go to find Griffey. I'm not getting worried yet. I'm not really getting worried at all, but it would be disappointing to go through all of these packs and not find at least one Griffey Jr. Oral Hershiser broke the record for consecutive scoreless innings. Really good pitcher back in the day. We have Domingo Cedeno and Paul Spalorjak again. Steve Sachs, Mike Stanley, Yankees catcher. We have a Eric Hillman gold card. Mets gold card, that's nice. Tom Browning. Mike Gallego. Oh, Tom Browning's another gold. They gave me a double gold in this pack. Dan Eller again. Lloyd McClendon. Scott Kamenicki. Chuck McElroy. Actually gonna go back and let's see if I can make the team set for Joe, since I know I missed a couple. In fact, there's Mike Gallego. We'll throw that in the pile too. Was Stanley in this pack or was that in the previous one? There's Stanley also, so see if we can put a complete team set together. Next pack up. As we're approaching 38 minutes. Definitely want to keep this video under an hour, that's for sure. So I might start breaking the rest of these packs in perhaps pairs. Denny Cox, there's another Hank Aaron. I'm gonna throw one in Joe's pile here, let him have one of those. Mickey Morandini, Alex Diaz, and Dave Valley, sticking to him there. Don Slaught gold card. There's a Sammy Sosa. We haven't seen that card yet. Second year with the Cubs before he became tremendous. Ending up with an ungodly amount of home runs. Eddie Zambrano, Glenn Murray, Chad Mottola, and Jermaine Allensworth. Jermaine Allensworth, I think, had a cup of coffee. Again, nothing too crazy. Todd Worrell, Todd Green, let's see. Chris Gomez and Phil Clark is sticking to the Todd Worrell. See if I can separate them there, just in case it's a gold card, which it is not. Okay, let's keep going here. All right, we got two packs here. Let's open both of these up at the same time, just to save a few seconds. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. I'm starting to get a little nervous that we're not going to find a Griffey or one of those finest promos, but still got some time. Matt Whiteside. We have Pettigene, Boston, Wooten, and Perkle again. Mark Clark, checklist again. Brian Hickerson. There's an Arthur Rhodes gold card. Brian Harper. Willie Green. We got another Don Mattingly. Whoops. There's Donnie Baseball again. A little bit of paper loss on that one. Ray Sanchez. Jerry Brown. Got another one of those Ripkins. Here, I'll throw a Ripkin in the pile along with that Hank Aaron. Roger Mason. We got a Tim Salmon here. Another Tim Salmon Gold Cup. Barry Bonds, first time seeing Barry Bonds. Relatively early on in his Giants career. Up to this point, he only had 222 home runs. As you know, and as we all know, he went on to become a large person, hitting many, many, many more home runs than that, surpassing Hank Aaron. Carl Rhodes, Omar Vizquel. There's a Gary Gaetti gold card. Corey Snyder. Roger Smithberg. Willie Blair, Brokaw, Kevin Young, and another Delgado. So third Delgado. But no Griffey Juniors, unfortunately. So let's crack into our final stack. 9 packs to go. Let's do them 3 at a time. And hopefully we'll get some luck in this last stack. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and just look back at 1994 Topps. I know it's a lot of fun for me. Again, this was right towards the tail end of when I was collecting. So seeing all of the players from when I was growing up. All right, let's see what we got. We got Gary Sheffield, who a lot of people, including myself, believe he should have some more consideration for the Hall of Fame. One of the quickest bats in baseball when he was playing. There's Pat Watkins, Felix Jose, Eric Hillman. We have a draft pick gold of Tony Funderich. Another draft pick gold of David Cooper. So back-to-back gold draft picks, that's cool. John Franco. Loved John Franco when he was pitching for the Mets. Steve Scarsone, Van Slyke. And who is on the back of Van Slyke? It's Tom Lampkin. Kevin Ory again. Jose Akendo. Checklist. Bobby Jones. John Smoltz, there's a Hall of Famer. Haven't seen John Smoltz yet. Dwayne Ward, gold card. Mariano Duncan. Ken Caminiti. There's a Jim Leyritz. I don't remember if I put one in the Yankees pile yet, so we'll throw one in there. Rod Correa. Blackjack McDowell, Mark Barcelo, Easley. There's a coming attractions of Brian Taylor, whose draft pick card from the year before was off the charts valuable for a couple of years until everyone realized he wasn't going to make a big splash in the majors. Derek Parks, Mark Valdez, Dave Hollins. There's a gold of Ray Sanchez. Dante Bichette, father of Bo Bichette, as well as Dante Bichette Jr., Kirk Reeder, Dwayne Ward, And I'm getting a low battery warning here. I'm just trying to get that closed.